From one of the loudest venues in the National Football League, you get a look there at an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap. Between the Denver Broncos. It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football and certainly the loudest as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL season has hit high gear and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week. And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The Chiefs at 7-2 here on the year. Their head coach, he's got them believing in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now. And the offense last week, they certainly had things humming because if you can run up 40-plus points a game, you certainly take a lot of pressure off of your defense, and you're not going to lose very often. Inside handoff to Mixon. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo. Yeah, what stood out to me on tape,
the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. They go play fake. Mahomes. Complete. Smith has it. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 23. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
And able to work his way down to the 16. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackle through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. Wilson. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, these two teams met in Kansas City earlier this season with the Chiefs winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep. From the 39, Wilson. And the Chiefs are going to get him. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Anytime you sack Russell Wilson, that's a win for the defense. But to get him here on his opening drive of the ball game, that's a really big win for that defense.
And the goal every week, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the perimeter, because when he's in the open field, not only can he
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Mixon with a first down carry. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Mahomes going to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Touchdown! Nicole Hardman, his 6th touchdown of the season. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
On second down, here's Wilson. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Chiefs are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. He's continuing to be a big... A big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Mixon running right. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
A first down carry for Barkley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. They'll run it again. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And did the offense get it back? They did. At the 1-yard line. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Yeah, they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 1 yard is the gain. And the Broncos are going to have it 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Barkley is into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Catch is made by Hardman. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Fred Warner.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, CD, that's a huge play by this defense in a close ball game. I think he was trying to just extend the play there, getting outside the pocket, but he throws a costly pick six.
Yeah, he's trying to find someone open. You're exactly right. He wasn't looking to run. He was looking to throw. The result, not good for him. They were more than happy on the defensive side to gather that one in and take it to the house.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
And he's able to get up here to the 26.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Pass to Henry is intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Out left and complete to Thornton.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Tyquan Thornton,
31 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to add on to their first half lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well that they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down. Burke. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Mahomes now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. And it's 3rd and short.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 7. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now. And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs inside the 20.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Albert Okwuegbunam from 8 yards out. And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Burke. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick six, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression, my goodness indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Burke. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
To throw on 3rd down, Burke.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here we go on 4th down. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Looking to throw. Burke. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Barkley, inside handoff. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle with Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Hunter Henry, 26 yards. And the Broncos are able to at least get one score back. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with a missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And some room to run now. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's taken down, but not before he gets to the Broncos' 10-yard line. 115 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. Mixon not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Here's Mixon. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A handoff to Barkley. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. To throw from his end zone, Burke. He's got a man, complete. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. A huge play there for Denver, 44 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Forced out to his left. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They go play action here on 1st down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll take this close to a 1st down at the Chiefs' 35. 59 yards on the ground for him so far.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And some room to maneuver. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver 1st. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the 4th quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the ball.
And my goodness, another interception. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Room here to run. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes.
Penalty there, now 2nd and 6. Again, it's Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And he'll get this up to about the 40. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. It's Mixon on the counter. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Mix it up the middle. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks. And now here's a tackle behind the line.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast-forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast-forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Kansas City, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they will finally get an